Hello and welcome to Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC.
A weekly podcast and YouTube channel where we discuss all things Wrexham AFC from the point of view of long-term fans and new fans.
So sit back, put your feet up, relax and let's get stuck in. Hello and welcome to episode 74 of Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC.
Can I just stop you there before you carry on?
I
before
think
we started
looks
press,
like you have.
Well, yeah. Before we press record, before we press record, Ryan just pinged an elastic bobble into my eye.
Oh wow, we've stopped the podcast to talk about that.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah.
So this week we're going to be talking about the Harrogate game, the Yeovil game. We're going to look ahead at who we've drawn in the FA Cup and a few other bits and bobs. Vague, but bits and bobs. So I suppose we should probably start with the Harrogate game, shouldn't we?
Yep.
Yeah.
Started off well.
Yeah, so Andy Cannon kept his place, second game in a row.
A few people are wondering why that is. But I said to you, I think he deserved it.
He definitely deserved it.
Yeah.
I think he played so well against Morecambe.
Mm-hmm.
I think he definitely deserved his spot against Harrogate. Yeah, 100% in agreement.
However...
I think sometimes what people have got to remember and bear in mind is you don't know how people are training, for example, throughout the week. I always assume, James Jones and George Evans played about 10 games in a row together in midfield, I think, give or take. And it was looking like it had developed into a really good partnership and it worked really well. So when Andy came in for the Morecambe game, everyone was like, what's going on here? And then he kept his place for the Harrogate game, as we say, and everyone was like, oh, but why? Some were saying why, but
I think people will come. I don't think people were saying that he didn't deserve his place, but I think some people were saying that sometimes his fitness isn't probably as good as to play both 90-minute games.
Yeah,
I think they were.
I get that, but like I say, you don't know how people have trained during the week, and if he's putting in the hard yards during the week and he's pushing for that starting place, you've got to give people that place. You can't expect people to keep pushing and knocking on the door of a starting spot and not getting it and still putting in the effort when they know that they're there or thereabouts.
Yeah.
So you do have to bend and break a little bit and allow, the players in. And again, like I said, against Morecambe, did really well, felt that he deserved his place. With regards to his fitness, I think they and you and your point are probably right. I don't think he's got 90 minutes in him. For whatever reason, I don't know what that reason is, but a lot.
Got little legs.
Yeah, he has only got little legs.
Little legs.
I think some people will say, but the substitutions are, they're just tactical. You're making a change, you're freshening things up. I'm not sure with Andy that they are always tactical. He looks spent at the point when they're taking him off. He does look like his race is run and that is as far as he can get. So I'm not 100% sure where he is with his fitness. Sounded like a song. But yeah, I'm not. I'm not sure. I'm not sure he's got full 90s in him.
Loving him at the minute though.
Isn't
he doing really well? To be fair to him,
he is doing well. And that's the player that I thought we'd signed when we first got him in.
I think a lot of people said Andy Jasper said that exact same thing. He said when we signed Andy Cannon, he knew from the outset that he was going to be a really good player for us.
And he has been before. He got into the team. It was around the sort of Dagenham game last season. And I think it was the Dagenham game when we played Dagenham away and we had him in midfield. And it was like, he's always in this midfield now because he just looks superb. And for whatever reason, maybe his form dipped a little bit, fitness maybe. he dropped out of the team, and it's only sort of now that he's getting back.
Is that because of injuries and things like that Parky needs to mix it up a bit?
Might be little niggly things that we don't know about.
Yeah.
You don't have to come out and make an announcement that someone's got a slightly tight calf. Do you know what I mean? It's, but that just might be who he is, and he might just, after playing, his muscles might tighten up a little bit. Maybe that's why we're only getting sort of 70 minutes out of him. Who knows? He's
doing well.
He's playing well at the moment. So let's not look a gift horse in the mouth. There was I don't know where to start with this game. I think early on there were warning signs, I would say. There was a ball that came over. Tozer sort of left it when he shouldn't have. It bounced in behind. Their player sort of cut in behind Ben, had a shot. It was very wide. Okonkwo held it well.
Yeah.
And, but for me, that was a little bit of that should have been a little bit of a wake-up call, I think. Just going, look, let's not rest. Let's not sit back. Full on. Let's keep it going for the full 90 minutes. I'm not only saying that for obvious reasons, but we had sort of 3 chances, didn't we, in quick succession? So
literally within seconds of each other. It was mental. It was bouncing off everybody.
Yeah,
it was
so
so
we had
weird.
Paul Mullin had his free kick, which the keeper saved.
Mm-hmm.
Came back to Cannon. Keeper made a double save, and then the ball went out wide, crossed in. McLean maybe. Ollie had a header which just went wide of the post. So we had 3 sort of quite quick sort of chances there. Elliot Lee's skill. That's what I wanted to talk about, because we watched the game, and then we watched the highlights back to make sort of notes and stuff like that. We'll try to make a few notes during the game, but you sort of want to enjoy the game as opposed to just sitting there making notes. And there was a little bit where he was on the left of the box. Mullin was in behind sort of a couple of defenders with a defender at his back, and Lee did this little flick thing through into Paul, came back. Nothing came of it. But I thought it was definitely worth an honourable mention during the podcast. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, he's very skilled, Elliot Lee.
Yeah, he is. So we kept the pressure on. Hayden had a header, which was well saved. Do you think we're missing Hayden goals this season?
Oh, he hasn't had any, has he?
No, that's what I mean. And last season he was
headering him left, light and centre.
Left, light and centre.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe, but
he was smashing them in for fun last season.
I just don't think he's he's been injured that much. I don't think he's really
100%.
I don't think he's 100%, and I don't think he's really kind of got back into the swing of things yet. Yeah. Well, we'll talk. I think he's quite he's worried that he is going to get injured again. So he's trying to,
Yeah, we'll talk about Aaron Hayden in a little bit, won't we? So we'll come on to that, I think.
Yeah.
So McLean's cross, Cannon goal. I'm very pleased for him. I'm not sure how long it's been since Cannon scored. That was his first Wrexham goal. Am I right in saying that? He played sort of, because he scored in pre-season, didn't he, in America?
Yeah.
Which
doesn't count.
Not for me. It doesn't. No. It's
his first official league
competitive
goal. Yeah.
Competitive goal. That was his first one.
Yeah.
He came so close the Saturday before.
Yeah.
Against Morecambe, we thought he'd scored. Turned out to be an own goal.
Yeah.
Just so pleased that he got it. Came in from the left from McLean, little side foot, right in the corner, good finish. And I was just really happy he was off the mark, to be honest.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, I think. It was a good goal as well, to be fair to him.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, decent finish, I'd say so.
Yeah.
We scored a second pretty much soon after that. Elliot Lee. Mullin kept the ball alive, quite close in. It was a nice, neat little finish from Lee. And at 2-0, sitting there, I think, what was my score prediction? 4-1 I went for. I think.
Can't remember.
I went big because I thought, after the Morecambe game, I thought, I think we're just going to push on. I think, we're going to be too strong for Harrogate. We go 2-0 up. And I'm sitting there quite comfortable going, I'm going to get a prediction right here because I just couldn't see them coming into the game enough to sort of worry us, really.
How wrong were you?
I know. So let's talk about Okonkwo for a minute.
Oh, bless him. Sorry, I'm just going to do my hair while you're doing that.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So
I am actually really gutted for him.
A ball come across, he came out, claimed it.
Yeah.
It was pretty hard to see, but I think he knocked his jaw against one of the Harrogate players' legs. Initially, I thought it was Tom O'Connor, but it wasn't. I think it was the Harrogate striker. Sort of ran into him. It's always a bit worrying, heads, jaws, all that sort of thing. Head injury. Went down for a bit. He carried on. And he took some painkillers. We saw him taking some painkillers at some point.
He could have been taking anything, to be fair. We don't know what he took. Yeah. But I'm assuming it was painkillers.
Yes. It was quite hard to say if he was affected from that moment because we had a long ball up in the air. It wasn't really dealt with. Mendy let it bounce when you could probably argue he shouldn't have let it bounce. He probably should have cleared it or gone for it, done something. He let it bounce. The striker got in behind, pulled it back. Player hit it from the edge of the box. Okonkwo didn't move. And it was 2-1 just before half time. It's hard to say. It was one of them where it was hit. There was defenders in front of him. I don't think Okonkwo would have done anything different had he not had the head/jaw injury prior to that. But we just don't know, do we? It's quite hard to work out. So he ended up coming off at half time. He's had a scan, X-ray, all that sort of stuff. We haven't heard anything since that.
I think Parky mentioned that it was nothing serious. But
did he say that definitely?
This was on the night of said game. Yeah. So I'm not sure whether anything else has come of it.
I've seen that he's had an X-ray. Yeah. And we're just waiting to see. But it's a big loss. It is a big loss.
Massive loss.
Yeah. And I know we've got Mark, who's come in and he came on in the second half. And but I just think, I do think it's a big loss. I think he was starting to get a bit of a head of steam as well. Did I spit at you then? Sorry.
You were like a snake.
Yeah, and I think he was starting to settle. He was getting comfortable. So I am gutted for him.
Hopefully he's not going to be out for too long. But like you said, we've got Mark Howard, so fingers crossed. Yeah, we'll be all right. Gorgeous George, nearly made it 3-1 just before half time. An absolute perler. And it would have been a cracker if it had gone in, and it was so close. It didn't just hit the post; it hit the inside of the post as well. I was gutted for him. It was a bit of a clanger.
He doesn't. A what?
A clanger.
A clanger. That's a mistake.
Well, it didn't go in, did it? So it was a mistake.
So it was an absolutely rip-roaring shot inside of the post. Gutted for him. He only seems to score worldies, to be honest. He doesn't really, he's not scoring tap-ins. So we've gone from being almost 3-1 up, going at half-time, feeling comfy. Like I said, I went for 4-1. So I'm thinking, I'm on. It's on here for 4-1.
Like Donkey Kong.
Yeah, it is, completely. And come out in the second half. They came out in body, and that was it. It was just like running around with no purpose. There was nothing about them. Their heads, they'd left somewhere else.
Do you think that was possibly the injury to Okonkwo, maybe?
I mean, there's an argument. You do see it in football when there's a horrific injury. When somebody breaks their leg, when something really bad happens, a head injury and there's lots of blood, whatever. Mm-hmm. It does affect people. It does. And sometimes you've seen in the past where they they just call the game off because, you know, nobody's in the right frame of mind to continue. You know, horrendous things have happened on a football pitch. That wasn't one of them. Do you know what I mean? He was fine. He's not fine, but I mean, he's conscious. He wasn't unconscious. He wasn't knocked out or anything. There was no blood. There was, there was nothing in that injury that should have affected the team moving forward. I don't think.
So they just basically came out and played crap.
Pretty much. I think that they got level after 2 minutes.
I think it was less than. I think it was just over a minute.
Yeah. Nothing that Mark Howard could have done about it. I tried to analyse the goal a little bit. Initially, I thought Hayden lost his marker because he was sort of in and around Hayden when he headed the ball. But Hayden's marker, the person Hayden was marking was behind him. The guy who came in and actually headed the ball just ran from the edge of the box, completely unmarked by anyone. So he just stole in. Nobody picked him up at all. I mean, that's schoolboy stuff for me.
Sunday League stuff.
It is. If you're going to pick, you each pick your man. If there's someone standing on the edge of the box, you don't have to go on the edge of the box and stand with him, but you just have to know that's your man. So if he runs in, you can block him, do whatever you want, but that is your man. And nobody had him at all. And, it was just, I sort of sometimes despair, when you come from winning 6-0 at the weekend, you have 40 minutes where you are 2-0 up and you look like you are absolutely cruising, to then just sort of fall apart and give nothing. No, absolutely nothing. It baffles me, football. I think sometimes I don't really I don't really get it. I just don't. I don't know how you can go from that to just not performing at all. It's just odd.
It's happened before, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, that when that second one went in, I think a team who are 2-0 up and they concede, let's be honest, 2 goals quite close together. I know you got a 15-minute sort of gap in the middle for half-time, but they scored just before half-time and just after half-time. And it just seemed to knock the stuffing out of us completely. And you do sort of see that with teams who are, 2 or 3-0 up and the other team come back at them and they just don't have it in them to get going again, to push on. And it's the team who have come back seem to have the momentum to push on to go and win the game. And let's be honest, there was going to be someone who was going to win that game, it was probably them and not us, I would say.
So getting a point from that game is pretty lucky, really, isn't it?
Yeah, the only real chance I remember was Mullin ballooned a shot over the bar. Dalby had a bit of from the sort of right-hand side, he had a shot, keeper tipped it over. Was there anything else?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
The second half was just dull, I think.
Yeah.
It just sort of it was a bit lacklustre and just...
It was really, and it was quite disappointing. But look, was it a good point in the end? Or was it 2 points thrown away?
Depends how you look at it, really. Probably.
I'm asking you how you look at it. You were looking at it.
I'm always glad to get a point. Yeah, I mean, like you said, they came out after half time. Harrogate got that goal. I just think, it was just it was like not that they didn't care, because we know that they care very, very much.
Yeah.
But they just didn't. They needed a broom up their backsides, I think. Not a broom, a rocket.
Yeah.
Not a broom.
A broom would have worked. That was good enough, I would say.
That would have got them going, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But, I meant a rocket.
Yeah.
They needed something to kind of, maybe they needed another goal. I don't know. It was just a bit...
Yeah, it was. And that's if you were going to categorise it with a noise.
Yeah.
And that's how it was. But look, it's another point. It's a point on the road.
Point's better than nothing, isn't it? But it would have been better.
If you'd have told me after 40 minutes you're going to get a point out of this, fuming. Absolutely fuming because we were on top. We were 2 goals to the good. I'd have been fuming. If you'd have told me after 70, 75 minutes we were going to get a point,
Happy.
probably I'll take that. Let's just blow the whistle now because
Yes.
It didn't feel like 75 minutes. So that's half an hour into the second half. It didn't feel like anything was going to happen for us. And, there was always that risk when you're playing at someone else's ground that they're just something's going to drop for them. And they got the crowd there and it just feel like, and everyone wants to beat us anyway, so if 75 minutes, you'd give me a draw, I'd have taken it. But so it is very contrasting emotions, I think, from the two halves.
Isn't it mad? Like we're in League Two. And we're playing teams that are in League Two. What I don't get, but what I don't get is like people come and treat us as if we're like a giant killing. You know the giant killing thing.
Yeah,
and it's bizarre because we're all in the same league.
Yes, but people see us as this big juggernaut now, who are just here to that we've thrown money around. We're going to bulldoze our way through. We've bulldozed our way through National League. We're going to bulldoze our way through League Two. So people want to slow that train down and go, actually, you're not ready for that because you're coming in and you can't beat us. So that's what people want. And it is, I think it is...
What's it called? Giant killer or giant killing?
It depends what you're talking about. A giant killing is a lower down team beating a bigger team.
Yeah. But we're all in the same league, so it's just...
Yeah, but that's the reason why.
Because we're bloody awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, should we move on to...
Yeovil, yeah.
Yeovil?
Anyone wonders, if you're watching on YouTube, why I'm drinking a beer, it's because we're not recording on Sunday morning. We've left it till the evening because, obviously, the Yeovil game, and we wanted to talk about that. Full-strength team.
Yeah. I was surprised.
That was my question. Surprised.
I was surprised, but then I thought, because obviously we've got a game on Saturday, on Sunday, and then we've got a game on Tuesday, and then we've got another game on Saturday, and I just thought maybe having the first full strength team out on the FA Cup game and the Bristol Street Motors Trophy game.
Yeah.
And then on the Saturday after would be a bit too much, and that's obviously where injuries happen.
Yeah.
But obviously I get why he had them out for the FA Cup because it's a big deal.
It's important.
It's a big deal. But I don't think, obviously we're going to talk about Tuesday in a minute, but I don't think he's going to have that full strength out on Tuesday.
No, not me.
So
not at all.
I was surprised, but then I sat back and I had a little think, and then I thought it's a good decision because the FA Cup, even though I detest of cup games and all that, not so much anymore, but I think it was a good decision to have.
Would you have made a couple of changes though, just to give other people a game, or were you happy with full strength?
I would love to see Bickerstaff start. I just think he's such a good little player.
I think he will Tuesday.
Yeah, but no, that's fine. But there's going to be you're not going to have your Paul Mullins and your Ollie Palmers, and I know you wouldn't have those two anyway. If Bickerstaff was on there, you'd have one or the other. But and James McLean and all that kind of jazz, you wouldn't have. I just think he deserves to start as in the starting 11.
You seem a bit flustered today. You're a bit all over the place.
It's because
it's
the evening, and I know that I've still got to iron Alfie school uniform and things.
Right,
so it's all a bit it's a bit confusing.
It's a bit must. That's why you need a beer.
Well,
That's
I don't drink, so
no. Look, we're on top early on. Really good start. What you would expect, because you never know in the FA Cup. This is where giant killing comes in. They're 2 leagues below us. They are playing really well in the league. They would have wanted to come to us and go, right, we're going to take you out. And the FA Cup is about giant killing. That's what it's all about. And so it was good to sort of shut them up early on. Ollie scored 14 minutes in, something like that. So he had one chance, keeper saved it. He followed up, 1-0 up. Happy days. Happy days. We're on a roll. I think it was all us, really. I was quite happy, felt comfortable. The commentators were very much hell-bent on bigging up Yeovil were going to come back into the game, which I get it. It's the FA Cup. So,
Yes, but I don't, but aren't commentators meant to, it was on ITVX, wasn't it, obviously?
yeah.
An impartial, supposedly impartial channel.
It is
So
impartial,
why,
isn't it?
yeah, but why? But this is what I don't understand. Commentators should be impartial, and they shouldn't be bigging up one team over the other.
No, I didn't really mean it like that.
What did you mean then?
I meant they were just sort of like, oh, they could come back into it and all that sort of thing. They you know.
I guess they're right. You know, it's happened before. It could happen again.
Of course
I
it
suppose.
could, you know. Look, we lost Aaron Hayden. We talked about him a little bit before.
We had a question, actually. Can I just say we had a question
Yes.
from Ben, and he asked. He said, "Is there any reason why Hayden has not had a contract extension like all the other players? He seems to be the only one that it runs out in 2024. We're not sure whether that's actually true, whether he is the only one. But I replied to Ben, and sorry if I've got your name wrong, but I'm sure it's Ben. And basically, I basically said that the thing with Hayden is he's injury prone, and he's kind of, in the last 2 seasons, he's probably had more time out, off the pitch than he has on. So I think Parky would be a bit sceptical to.
I think so, and like we talked about this earlier. He's not the only one who hasn't had a contract extension. Just to let you know, Ben, there are others who haven't had contract extensions as well. I'll be honest. I think the club are probably a little bit 50-50 at the moment when it comes to Aaron Hayden. Great player.
Because when he's good, he's good.
Oh, I love. He's amazing. One of my favourite players. It's horrible to say, but I just can't see.
You okay there?
Yeah, I
Do you
know.
need some TLC?
I do, and it's. I just find it hard to understand how you can hold on if he's out for another prolonged period of time. How do you keep a player like that? Because it doesn't make sense to keep him, does it?
Sadly, no.
No, I mean, but we've got, I think we've got bigger problems than that. Maybe not bigger problems, but we've got other defensive problems in my mind.
What, the fact that we're playing Tom O'Connor in defence?
Well, that's one of them. No, I mean, so, we've got Aaron Hayden. We talked about this last week where we were talking about, we have got a lot of injuries at the moment. And then you look out on the pitch and then you see the players who are actually playing, like Aaron Hayden and like Tom O'Connor, who are injury prone. We probably jinxed that because literally, like a week later, and we've seen Aaron Hayden going off with another injury. So to me, it's like...
hopefully it's nothing.
Yeah, hopefully, but it's another injury again, isn't it? So we've got Tom O'Connor in defence. Odd in itself. Is he a defender now? Who knows? We keep saying this every single week.
What does it say on his bio on the Wrexham?
Midfielder, because that's what he is.
/ defender.
So now I think we got a massive insight into where Phil is at the moment. So we had Boyle on the bench, okay? So the fact that Tom O'Connor is getting in front of Boyle is strange in itself. A recognised left-sided defender isn't playing in favour of a midfielder dropping back into defence. Number one, that's odd. To me, that's strange, and I don't understand that. Okay, you then lose one of your recognised centre halves in Aaron Hayden. Okay, so you look at your bench and you go, right, okay, we need to bring a defender on. No, he didn't. What he did is he dropped another midfielder, George Evans, back into defence.
Did he bring
and then brought James Jones on?
He's a left wing back, isn't he?
James Jones is a midfielder, right? So we've got a midfielder playing in defence, okay? And then when one of the defenders goes down injured, we bring on another midfielder and drop a midfielder that's already on the pitch back into defence again, when we've got a defender sitting on the bench. So, for whatever reason, Parky doesn't fancy Will, and I don't know why. Everything I've seen of him has been okay. I thought he was a pretty decent, pretty solid defender. I don't know what's gone wrong. If he's not fit, why does he keep making the bench? I'm lost. I'm lost with it. I don't understand it. And I think if this is where we're at, then I think we need a bit of an overhaul of our defence in January, because something's not right somewhere, and I don't know what it is.
You don't know what goes on behind changing room closed doors.
You don't, and but I just don't get it. I don't get why we're doing what we're doing at the moment, or why Phil's doing what he's doing. It doesn't make sense to me. You know, like I say, it's very simple. You got a midfielder playing in defence. I don't like that. And then when one of your defenders gets injured, instead of bringing the defender on, you bring another midfielder on. It's just strange to me. And it's very nice that we've got players who are versatile, can play in a few different positions. But you've got to recognise the defender sitting there on the bench, waiting for his chance to come on. And yes, he is a left-sided defender. Hayden plays on the right, but a defender's a defender, surely, at the end of the day. So yeah, I just found it really odd. I don't know. Anyway, Newblay had a chance, didn't he, for Yeovil, about 28 minutes. It just gave us a little gentle reminder that Yeovil was still in the game. Because I think a lot of people had forgotten up until that point, because we were very dominant, I thought.
With that, though, I don't think it's sort of like, because we'd scored, we were 2-0 up, weren't we?
No.
What? When did we score the second goal?
Well, we'll come on to that once we've
okay,
gone
well,
through
we were
all
one. Yeah, all right, we were 1 goal up. But you know, we didn't sort of like we have done like we did in the Harrogate game. We didn't take a step back and think they're 2 leagues below us. We've got this. We kept going, which hasn't happened. You know, which is something that
in the first half, yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, they definitely sort of started to nudge their way into the game. Next chance was theirs as well. It was Charlie Cooper hit a shot from quite far out, 25 yards maybe. Mark Howard made a decent save. Next decent chance after that was them again. Free kick, which hit the post. And you start thinking...
potentially 3 goals there.
Well, yeah, I think, you know, they were certainly knocking on the door at this point. Cannon then got his second.
Yeah!
Second goal in 2 games.
Love it.
So he waits 2 years for a goal, then he gets 2 in 2.
Like buses, aren't they?
Well, Andy Cannon goals are.
Yeah, he'll get another one next weekend.
Yes, it was a great goal as well.
Was
Great
a good
volley.
Was a goal.
Really good goal. So we go in at half-time 2-0 up.
Yes.
Do you know... I don't know if anyone listens to Radio X, so it's available around the world, so wherever you're from. There's the Johnny Vaughan show on Radio X.
Yes.
So it's on from 4 in the afternoon till 7 in the UK. And
Funny guy.
He is, and he does something called Mexican Handbags. Have you ever listened?
Yes.
So where people send in sort of funny, sort of made up things that about it's hard to explain, but
because you really did a bad job
yeah,
of
I know.
it.
And it just reminded me of that because it's like the old Wrexham snooze button. That's it because we get to 2-0 up, or we get to half time, and I think it was very true for both games this week. And it's the old Wrexham snooze button. We'll go, we're done here, we're done. So, you know, and I don't know what that mental block is, but it's something that we need to change. Because, you know, getting 2-0 up and just going snooze, we're done. And we did it on Tuesday, and we did it, you know, against Yeovil as well, where we just sat back. And for the first 20 minutes of the second half, probably more, it was just Yeovil.
Yeah.
And I don't get why we do it and why we're not pushing on and just killing teams off. Teams who are 2-0 down are going to put the brakes on, and they're going to come back at you. One team, for example, who didn't do that was Morecambe. it's because they were very poor on the day and they weren't able to do that. Most teams are going to slow you down and they're going to come back. Yeah? And that's what Yeovil did. And you've just got to be prepared for that. It's not always going to go your way just because you're 2-0 up. It's not just going to go your way. And to be honest, I felt that Yeovil were quite unlucky not to come back into it. I remember Gorgeous George made a great tackle. They were sort of half through and he made a great tackle. And then we sort of lifted ourselves a little bit. But it took us a good half an hour to get into the game again in that second half. What's a snooze fest? And it was. The second half was so poor. I remember JJ hit a really nice shot from the edge of the box, just whizzed past the post.
Yeah, that was so close, that was.
We just looked like we were stuck in second gear again. I think maybe just as a team, we've just got a dodgy gearbox. We can get through the gears nice and quick in that first half and really push on. And then we put it back into neutral for half time and we're just stuck. We can't get it past second gear
a good
again.
Analogy.
Thanks. I've worked on that. I really wanted a third. I was desperate for a third.
Why did you want a third, Ryan?
Funny you should ask, Shan. It's because my prediction before the game. So we do predictions for every game. They're on TikTok, they're on X, they're wherever Shan puts them. Shan's got 3 right this season. I've only got 1 right, haven't I, this season so far?
Wrong.
Until today, I got this one right. I've been really close with quite a few. So I went for 3-0 today.
I went 4-2.
Yeah. So
that was a bit optimistic, I think.
Well, on Yeovil's part, because I
was.
But yeah, I went for 3-0. It didn't look like it was going to happen. McLean had a shot blocked, didn't he? It was a great move on the counter, that was. It looked like it was going to be 3-0, but it wasn't. And then Super Sammy D saved the day for me right at the end. Right at the end, fair play, made it 3-0. Through to the third round.
Shrewsbury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've drawn.
They're no Man City or Liverpool or Chelsea.
We've drawn Shrewsbury in the next round.
Yeah.
I would say it's quite divisive. This draw.
We use that word then.
Divisive.
You struggled with that word, didn't you?
I did earlier on. I couldn't spell it. But I'll explain why it's divisive. So a lot of mainly older fans will get quite excited at the prospect of playing Shrewsbury. I haven't played them for ages. It's a derby. They're only 34 miles away. And to go there and to sort of stick one on like a local rival would be really good.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people are sort of happy about that. On the flip side, there's a lot of people who are a bit, because if you think about it, it's great playing a local derby, really nice. But, if you think about it of what could have been, what was on offer, Anfield, the Etihad. Do you want to go and play in the £1 billion Tottenham Hotspur Stadium? Yeah? Well, you're not. You're going down to Shrewsbury to play the Carrot Crunchers and all the Farmers. It's sort of a bit boring, it's one of them. Yeah, it's great. It's a local derby. At the same time, it's not going into a 40, 50, 60,000 seater stadium, playing your heart out.
That could be next.
Yeah, maybe.
Could be
we'll have to wait and see, won't we? We'll have to wait and see. You excited for Shrewsbury?
I am.
Yeah.
Purely because it's another stadium that we've not been to before.
Yeah.
I've not been to. I'm not sure about you. And
I don't think I have.
No.
I don't remember ever going to Shrewsbury, which is odd. But
so I think I
might be wrong.
It's obviously the first week of January. The dates obviously haven't been confirmed yet. So obviously, I'm assuming tickets will go out in the next couple of weeks.
We don't know anything. We don't know anything.
All we know is that we're playing Shrewsbury in the third round.
Yes.
So, boom, there you go.
There we go. A little bit of news for everyone. M&S Food in Wrexham opened this week.
If you obviously were watching the game on Sunday against Yeovil, then you would have possibly have seen where the Kop used to be. There's basically a massive statue of Percy the Pig wearing a home Wrexham shirt.
Yeah.
Very odd. Oh, and also I think that Is it Colin the Caterpillar?
Colin the Caterpillar.
Colin the Caterpillar went across, did something. So they're both there.
Yeah.
It's all very bizarre.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
Yeah. So Wrexham raised over £4,000 for Movember. So well done to everyone who took part of that at the club. We've also joined.
Tom O'Connor still got his though.
I know. Yeah.
It's like it.
Wrexham also joined the Sunflower Hidden Disabilities Network, which is really good news. You'll see people wearing sunflowers for, not all disabilities are visible. Basically, that's what that promotes.
So I read that all the stewards and the staff and everything have all been trained to, obviously if they know how to approach people who have got these lanyards, and they'll have things that say I'm here to help, and because like Ryan said, all disabilities are not visible disabilities, so it's really, really important. And I'm really glad that they've done that.
I just wanted to touch on the Luke Young rumours.
La 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 la.
So, there's been a few rumours. We weren't really going to sort of talk about it, really, but I thought it was worth, because they're not really going away. Some people might not have heard them at all, but there's a couple of rumours. One is that Luke Young had fallen out with Phil Parkinson. Not sure that is completely true. He played against Yeovil. When he came on, as a sub, he took the captain's armband, so I'm not sure that there's any truth in a falling out. Although there is a lot of rumours that he will be leaving Wrexham in January. Just rumours. Literally just rumours at the moment. It has been touted that he may be going to Solihull Moors in the National League. Again, just rumours. We don't know.
I don't want to talk about it.
No, but he's not. Look, it's an awkward one, isn't it? Because he's not playing. He's not playing at the moment. He's a professional footballer. He's going to want to have more minutes than what he's getting. It's all well and good being at a club and really enjoying it because the club's doing really well. But if you're a footballer who wants to play football and you're not playing football, I don't think you can be too surprised that.
Depends if you're the type of person that just wants to come along for the ride and still get paid for it.
Which I don't think that's Luke.
I don't think that is. He is he's
wants
just got
to play.
such a strong work ethic, and I think that he wants to, like you said, play. So
So
we've got 2 games coming up.
Yes, you have. Yes, we have. Yes.
I have.
Yeah.
So on Tuesday we are playing Burton Albion.
Yeah.
At the racecourse. Yes.
Yes.
In the Bristol Street Motors Trophy, formerly known as the Papa John's Trophy. This Burton Albion actually used to be Fleur Robinson's stomping ground, and I believe her dad is still the chairman.
I'm not sure. Well, you might be. I'm not sure. He's definitely involved with the club,
Whether he's the chairman or not, I thought that's what I read, but he's definitely involved. So, it should be interesting having Burton Albion to racecourse.
Yeah, so it's on Tuesday the 5th. It's a 7:30 kickoff. It's available for everybody on iFollow. The last competitive game was February 2009 between the two clubs, which we lost 2-1 away. The last home game was September 2008. Which we also lost 1-0. They didn't play this weekend. Their last game was Tuesday the 28th, which they lost 2-0 at home to Portsmouth.
See, when teams don't play, like Tuesday, Saturday, they haven't played for like a week. You think that could either go one way or another, can't it?
It's hard to tell.
It could either go badly for them, or they'll be so rested and raring to go,
rejuvenated.
Yeah.
So it is. It depends what sort of team, how much Burton value this competition. Like with a lot of clubs, I think, to be honest.
I don't think Parky's going to put out our first team.
I hope not. So this season in the league, they have won 5, drawn 5, lost 9. They're 17th in League One. Yeah, 17th, yeah. They've not won any of their last 5 in League One. They finished second in their group behind Doncaster on 6 points and ahead of Mansfield and Everton under 21s.
Ooh.
Predictions.
My prediction for Burton Albion is 2-0 to Wrexham.
2-0. I'm going to go for...
It's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah,
because Burton Albion League One.
League One. I'm not sure what team either of them are going to put out. I'm going to go 1-0. I'm going to go 1-0 Wrexham.
I'm not sure I care.
I'm not sure I do either, to be honest, but there we go. The next game after that is Forest Green Rovers. So it's back to League Two action next Saturday, the 9th of December, and it's a 3 o'clock kickoff. It's available for international fans only on iFollow. It's away at the New Lawn, which is currently being renovated. So they've got some building works going on there. The knock-on effect of that is that we only got 600 tickets for that game, so we couldn't
get one.
Weren't able to. The last competitive game was in March 2017, which we lost 3-1 away.
Their Saturday FA Cup game was actually postponed. I'm assuming because of frozen pitches.
You would be completely wrong with that. No.
Really?
So their game was postponed against Blackpool in the FA Cup. The reason it was postponed is the FA are looking into the fact that they might have fielded an ineligible player in the previous round. So a club has already been kicked out of the FA Cup this season. Barnsley, I think it was, because in the first round they fielded a player that they hadn't registered in the squad to actually play in the FA Cup. So yeah, Forest Green are just being investigated about that at the moment. If everything's okay, they will replay that game in another time.
Could our game be postponed against them then if they still have?
No, it's just FA Cup.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
okay.
Just FA Cup. So usually, if the FA are investigating that,
there's usually something.
I would say they're probably going to get kicked out of the FA Cup, but we'll wait and see what happens with that one anyway. So there we go. They have won 4, drawn 3, and lost 12 this season. They're 23rd in League Two at the moment. Their top scorer is Matty Stevens with 5. Troy Deeney's currently the player coach. Do you know who Troy Deeney is?
I have no idea who Troy Deeney is.
Cool. So Troy Deeney made his name playing for Watford, played a lot of games in the Premier League as well. After his time at Watford, he went to Birmingham, and from there he's now trying to progress as a coach in the game. So he's dropped down quite a few leagues. He's still playing a little bit, but he's basically a player coach, basically at the club.
So he's playing for Forest Green and managing it?
No, coaching.
Is that not the same thing?
No.
Isn't it?
No, a manager manages. A coach coaches.
Oh, I thought Parky was a coach.
Head coach, probably.
Oh, so he's a coach then, isn't he? Manager / head coach.
Yeah, but the head coach, isn't it?
Oh, shut up. Anyway, prediction. It's away, remember?
3-0.
I'm going to go 2-0 again.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Some people who got in touch this week. We had Steiner Pedersen, who I think is Stan.
Well, he said when we met him at the racecourse, they're known as obviously the Norwegian Reds. I'm sure he said Stan, but maybe he was just trying to be polite because we don't speak Norwegian.
Yeah, he said, great podcast and nice cap because I wore the Norwegian Reds cap. All the best from the Norwegian Reds. We had SQ1011 on YouTube say, great content, guys. Love from Indonesia. Ooh, lovely.
Global.
Sabunge. Let's go with that one. Give away the signed copy would be amazing. So we mentioned last week we got a signed copy of the Paul Mullin book. We sort of shined through it on the episode and went,
makes a change, doesn't it? Me sticking something on you.
So shall we give it away in a competition? Maybe we'll come back to that.
We're under chats at the moment.
We are. We're trying to sort something out. Sarah M8865. I binged Paul's Audible book over the weekend. Was shocked to find out the hardback won't be available in the States till February. So my vote is giveaway. Oh bloody hell! Look who's starting now.
And we had a message from, can you say, because I cut.
Kiro Arai.
Hi, I just wanted to drop a message. Recently got one of my best friends in America into the great sport, and we found your podcast covering everything Wrexham. Started from episode 1, and it's such a good listen. I'm from Kygurley Way myself, and it's been such a wild few years. Can't wait to get caught up on the show. Have a great week.
Oh, thank you. Anyone wants to get in touch, you can get in touch on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, or email us at wrexhamafc@gmail.com. Quick shout out for Dragon Chat as well. Really important at this time of the year. It's a mental health peer support group. They run a weekly Zoom call on Thursday, 7 p.m. till 8:30. They do it as like two halves. I don't know what I'm telling you, because you know full well. They do it as two halves. So the 45 minutes where you talk about anything you want to get off your chest, anything you might need a little bit of help with. The other 45 is talking about the football. I'll be honest, I've been on a couple of the calls. The football tends to take over a little bit, but I think just talking about the football does help a lot of people, because they just want someone to talk to. And they just want to have that interaction with people, so it massively helps.
Also,
as well.
a reminder as well. They also before home games, they meet in the Miners Rescue, which is, I can't remember the name of the road.
I can't remember.
I will find that out for you. But yeah, so basically, Steve's obviously said, people are welcome there. Before the home games.
Yes, yeah.
I think they meet about 12:30, I believe.
Yeah, so anybody, if you want to get in touch, the best thing to do is if you go onto Twitter and search for Dragon Chat Steve Lloyd, and that is that's the best thing to
the founder
see.
Of Dragon Chat,
yeah, that's
isn't
the
he?
best thing to look at to get some an idea of what's going on and where it's going on. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description of how to get on the Thursday call as well. So there's the Zoom details and the what's Zoom? Is it passcode and
I think it's like
meeting ID?
Yeah, meeting ID and password.
All that jazz. Yeah. All that jazz. Yeah. So quiz time. You got no one up against you this week. We've got no guest. Because it's so late in the evening, so I can guarantee no one is beating you. Is that okay for you?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. Right. Number one. It's sorry for any. I haven't explained it. So it is 2 lies and 1 truth. I read out 3 statements. One of them is true. The other 2 are lies that I have made up. All Sean has to do is pick out the truth.
He's really good at lying.
I'm not bad at it, to be fair.
He's maybe a really good politician.
On my CV, it would be listed as a skill, I'd say, lying.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it'd get me many jobs, but
if
there
you
you
go for a lie detector job, it would.
Maybe.
Yeah, anyway.
Maybe.
Anyway.
November Goal of the Month was launched last...
Goal
of the Month was launched last week.
Yeah.
Included in the list was...
Oh my God, I looked at this before.
Ollie Palmer's goal against Notts County.
Okay.
Paul Mullins' goal against Mansfield. Or James Jones's goal against Morecambe.
James Jones' one against Morecambe.
Correct. Wasn't Ollie Palmer, that was in October, so that wouldn't have been in there. And it was Sam Dalby's goal against Mansfield, not Paul Mullins' goal. Okay, number 2. It was Phil Parkinson's birthday.
It was.
On Friday. Number 1.
He's 56. Oh, was that the question?
No, it's not. Number 1.
Damn.
Phil turned 57.
He's 56. Okay,
so that's a lie then, isn't it? You dope. Number 2. Phil shares his birthday with Lionel Messi. Number 3. Phil's star sign is Sagittarius.
Oh, I hate star signs. I don't even know.
I know, that's why I put it in.
I don't even know yours. I know mine. I'm going to go with... Oh, he's not 57, he's 56, so that's a lie. I'm going to go...
Sahi?
Sahi, or 3 or whatever. 2.
What?
3.
Sagittarius. Phil's a Sagittarius.
Is he?
Is that what you're going for, yeah?
Yes! I don't know.
Correct. Yay! Yes, Phil is a Sagittarius, yes. Number 3.
Yeah.
Okay, you're on for 5 out of 5 here.
Do I get a prize?
For 5 out of 5? Yeah, definitely. I'll get you a prize for 5 out of 5.
Okay.
It's not happening. We drew 2-2 with Harrogate on Tuesday.
We did.
Number 1. Harrogate had more possession than us. Number 2, Harrogate had more corners than us. Or number 3, Harrogate had more free kicks than us.
I'm going to go with 1.
Number 1, more possession.
I can always tell that I'm wrong with the way you go, number 1. I'm wrong, aren't I?
Change it if you want.
No.
No?
No.
Sticking with it.
Yeah.
Even though you know it's wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're wrong. They had more free kicks than us. We had, so there's your prize gone.
It felt like they had more possession.
Did in the second half anyway, that's for sure. Okay. Jacob Mendy launched his Encore clothing range in the Wrexham Trainer Revival red and white casuals shop in Wrexham last week.
Yep.
That's a mouthful. Should have changed that sentence. On the back of their most popular t-shirt is a message that reads, 1, Encore, sing it again. 2, an idea of a dreamer. Or number 3, life is made for winners.
Oh.
All good them, aren't they?
All good.
Could see them all on the back of a t-shirt.
Let's get them made.
Yeah.
Let's get them made.
Well, not the one that's on the back
No, obviously not. The other, whichever two. Yeah.
Do you want them again?
Yes.
Okay, number 1, Encore, sing it again. 2, an idea of a dreamer. Or 3, life is made for winners.
B.
An idea of a dreamer. Well done. Yes, that's correct.
I just didn't think it'd be Encore because Encore's on the front and the other one is
So it is on the back as well.
Yeah, but number 3 is just really egotistical. So, and I just don't picture him being egotistical.
Okay.
So.
Number 5. Yes.
I've got 3 right so far.
Yeah, and on 1 wrong.
Yeah.
Let's not focus on
Correct.
let's not forget about the 1 wrong. Yeovil's mascot was refused the right to walk out the team at the racecourse in the FA Cup. Now, if anyone hasn't heard this story, just to clarify, when I wrote this question, Yeovil had asked for the mascot to walk out the team, and Wrexham went no. And they put it on Twitter and stuff, didn't they? That they'd been refused the right to. And as it turned out, the mascots did walk the teams out. So something had happened in the background. But anyway, refused the right. That when I wrote the.
I think the reason why they wanted him was because the Aldi and Marks and Spencer's rivalry thing against the Caterpillars.
Right.
Got you.
Okay. The mascot is known as 1. Green Dean. Number 2, the Jolly Green Giant. Or number 3, Steve. Would you like to hear them again?
But it's blue. Why would it be the Jolly Green Giant?
He's green. Just so you know. I'll read them again for you.
It was blue on the TV.
I can guarantee it was green.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my god, I need to go see the an optician.
Number 1,
Yep.
Green Dean.
Yep.
Number 2, the Jolly Green Giant. Or number 3, Steve.
I really wish it was Steve. But I'm going to go with the Jolly Green, whatever that one is.
Jolly Green Giant.
Yeah.
It is the Jolly Green Giant. Yeah.
I swear, I thought it was.
Well, it was not blue.
All right, I'm booking myself in. So that's it for this week. If you are watching us on YouTube or you're listening to us on the podcast, then please head over to our YouTube channel and subscribe, because every subscribe helps us.
Does ticking along with time for another beer, and we'll see you again next week.
Bye.
Bye.